She had a voice that belonged to a different era, a soul that was pure old-school jazz, and a talent that was raw and unfiltered, but her greatest art was born from her greatest pain. This is the untold story of Amy Winehouse, the girl from North London who dared to be herself, the musical genius who became a tragic cautionary tale. This is a story of love, heartbreak, and a sound that will forever be a part of music history. Childhood and early life, 1983 to 2002. Amy Jade Winehouse was born on September 14, 1983, in a suburb of North London, into a Jewish family with a deep passion for music. From a very young age, it was clear that music wasn't just a hobby for Amy. It was a part of her very essence. Her grandmother was a jazz singer, and her father, Mitch, was a taxi driver who loved to sing Frank Sinatra tunes around the house. Amy would later say that her family's love of music, especially jazz and soul, shaped her from the very beginning. Amy's childhood wasn't without its challenges. Her parents' divorce when she was 9 years old had a lasting impact on her, a sadness that would later find its way into her poignant lyrics. As a teenager, she had a rebellious streak, often getting into trouble, but her talent was undeniable. She honed her skills at the prestigious Sylvia Young Theatre School and later at the Brit School, a renowned institution for performing arts. She was a natural-born performer, but her unique style and rebellious attitude often made her feel like an outsider. A little-known fact: at the age of 14, Amy co-founded a short-lived rap group called Sweet and Sour, a side of her early career that is almost never talked about. This showed her versatility and her early willingness to experiment with different musical genres. Frank and the First Taste of Fame, 2003 to 2005. After being discovered by a talent scout, Amy signed a record deal and, in 2003, released her debut album, Frank. Named after her idol, Frank Sinatra, the album was a critical masterpiece. Critics and fans were immediately captivated by her raw, soulful vocals and her witty, honest, and heartbreaking lyrics. The songs were a blend of jazz, pop, and R&B, a sound that was fresh and sophisticated. Frank earned her a Mercury Prize nomination, a major achievement for a debut artist. Amy was an anti-pop star. While other artists were meticulously packaged and produced, she was rebellious and authentic, with a voice that was pure and powerful. The album was a great success, but it was just a prelude to the global storm that was coming. Rehab and Back to Black, 2006 to 2007. In 2006, Amy Winehouse released her second album, Back to Black. This album wasn't just a collection of songs. It was a raw, unfiltered chronicle of her turbulent life and a painful relationship. The album's sound was a brilliant tribute to the classic Motown girl groups of the 1960s, a sound that was both timeless and entirely new. The lead single, Rehab, became a global sensation. Its hook was a direct quote from a conversation she had with her manager. He suggested she go to rehab, and her response, "No, no, no," became one of the most famous lyrics in modern music. The song was a massive hit, but it was also a reflection of a deep-seated problem that the world would soon witness. The entire album was fueled by her tumultuous relationship with Blake Fielder Civil. It was a widely spread rumor that he introduced her to harder drugs and was the source of much of her anguish, which she poured directly into her music. Amy would later admit that the songs on Back to Black were written in a state of pure emotional pain. The album won 5 Grammy Awards, including Record of the Year and Song of the Year, making her a worldwide phenomenon. But with this fame came unprecedented scrutiny and pressure. If the powerful story of Amy's life has you captivated, take a moment to hit that like button and share this video with a friend who loves music. And if you want to be the first to know the true stories behind the world's greatest icons, please subscribe to The Storyteller and turn on notifications. Your support helps us keep bringing these important stories to life. The global spotlight and spiraling downward, 2008 to 2010. Following the immense success of Back to Black, Amy's life became a public spectacle. The paparazzi hounded her relentlessly, documenting every moment of her struggles. The media, which once celebrated her talent, now focused on her erratic behavior, her arrests, and her battles with addiction. She became a constant feature in tabloids, a tragic figure caught in the unforgiving glare of fame. An interesting fact that many don't know is that Amy, despite her struggles, was known to be incredibly generous and kind. She often helped her friends and family financially and was fiercely loyal to those she loved. She would randomly buy drinks for strangers at a bar or give money to the homeless. This side of her was rarely shown in the media. Her performances, once so powerful and commanding, became inconsistent. She would often walk off stage or appear too intoxicated to perform. Canceled tours and a canceled album became the norm. The pressure from her record label, her loved ones, and the public became immense. She was trapped in a cycle of addiction and media exploitation, a brilliant artist whose light was being extinguished before our very eyes. The final years and tragic end, 2011. In the final year of her life, Amy attempted a comeback. She performed a few shows, but her public appearances were a source of concern for her fans. In her last recorded performance, a collaboration with her idol Tony Bennett, she looked frail, but her voice was still pure, a ghost of her former self, but still powerful enough to move an audience. On July 23, 2011, the world was shocked and heartbroken by the news. Amy Winehouse was found dead in her London home. The official cause of death was alcohol poisoning. She was only 27 years old, becoming a member of the infamous 27 Club, a group of talented musicians who all died at the same age, including Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and Kurt Cobain. Her passing left a void in the music world. The raw honesty and emotional depth of her music would be sorely missed. Legacy, a voice for eternity. Amy Winehouse's legacy is a complex one. She was a musical pioneer who brought back a sound that many thought was dead. She proved that a singer could be both an icon and an artist, combining old-school style with modern-day rebellion. Her style, the beehive hairdo, the bold eyeliner, and the vintage dresses, became a fashion statement. But her legacy is also a powerful reminder of the destructive nature of addiction and the intense pressure of celebrity. Her life served as a stark warning about the dangers of fame and the media's role in exploiting an artist's personal struggles. The songs she left behind are a testament to her genius. They are her diary, her heartache, and her truth. Amy Winehouse's story is a beautiful, tragic song. She taught us that a voice is more than just a sound. It is a direct line to the soul. And while her life was cut short, the truth she sang will forever be a part of the soundtrack of a generation. Her legacy proves that sometimes the greatest art is created not in peace, but in the beautiful, heartbreaking chaos of a life truly lived.